This season, I have somewhat mixed feelings about the Phoenix Suns. It feels like we've seen KD try to go out and create these super teams elsewhere, and they haven't really worked aside from Golden State. However, this is probably his most talented super team with Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and of course himself. They have very good depth, which we're going to talk about in today's video. They went out and signed a lot of guys. Also have DeAndre Ayton back, of course. And this time they have a defensive-minded head coach in Frank Vogel, who has won championships with very, very solid defensive teams. Like I said, they went out, they signed veterans this offseason like Eric Gordon, Drew Eubanks, and Yuta Watanabe, among others. So we will talk about all that and more in today's video. So make sure you stick around for the full thing. Hit the like button and leave me a comment down below, as all three things will really help us out in the YouTube algorithm, as well as subscribe to the channel. You see here about 96% of people are not subscribed. We're trying to hit 10K by the time the season starts. So just hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, and we'll have being said, let's go ahead and get started. Looking at what should be an unstoppable trio of Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. This squad, offensively, you really can't hang. I don't feel like 23.3 points, 5.4 assists, 3.9 rebounds for Brad Beal last year in Washington. I mean, he's 2 years removed from averaging like 31 a game and almost winning a scoring title. And points per game just continue to go up and up and up and up. 51% from the field, 37% from three, and 1 steal per game for Bradley Beal. Going into his age 30-year season, played 34 minutes a game last year. He's going to have to help with the point guard duties. He and D Book are going to both have to be the point guard. It's really who's playing point guard. I don't think they have a true point guard. I think it's kind of point guard by committee, just facilitating. But between the three of them, you really don't need a point guard to get you into any offense. You just honestly can play ISO ball the whole time. Of course, you'll have a few sets, but between those three guys, you got three of the most gifted scorers of all time with an array of three-point shooting options off the bench. It's looking like, you're not really going to need a true point guard, and they're looking like title contenders. Now, a guy that I think is a great pickup was Bol Bol, coming over from the Orlando Magic. Now, some people might think this was a little bit of an overrated pickup. Why are they doing that? But hey, he gets to learn from Kevin Durant, who, if you really look at Bol Bol, he kind of reminds you of a taller Kevin Durant, honestly, with some of the stuff he does. 9.1 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1 assist per game for Bol Bol last year in what was a solid season for him. About midway through January, we were thinking he was going to be a centerpiece for the Orlando Magic, and then he was waived. Not a very good rim protector, it turns out. 54% from the field is very good, though. He kind of fell off, though it feels like, towards the end of the season last year. So yeah, there's Bol Bol's season for you. In a nutshell, now he is a Phoenix Sun. Now, let's take a look at the roster overhaul, because last year, this team looked a lot different. They have a lot of snipers now, with Yuta Watanabe and Eric Gordon both coming over. Eric Gordon making his return to Phoenix. Yuta Watanabe averaged 5.6 points and 2.4 rebounds a game last year in Brooklyn, where he was a good wing option. Can defend because he's 6'9", but he shot at 45% from the field, 45% from three, 49% from the field. Very good numbers from Watanabe, who basically played his way into a roster spot last year. 6'9", 19 minutes per game. And then Eric Gordon, who last year averaged 11 points a game and 2.1 rebounds for the Clippers, a guy that he's just a very solid veteran role piece to any team that's trying to win a championship. 46% from the field, 42% from three. Overall, he's just extremely solid. 25 minutes a game, 35 years old. So he is getting up there, but still, just another good piece that the Suns have brought in to surround this core. Now, let's take a look at some of the length they also brought in this offseason. Other than, of course, Watanabe, who is 6'9". They get Metu here from the Sacramento Kings, average 5 points, 3 rebounds. He really won't be a rotation piece, just a guy that they have, an insurance policy if people start to get injured, but he is 6'10", and he shot at almost 60% from the field last year. And then you have Keita Bates-Diop, a very, very underrated signing for the Suns. Averaged 10 points and 4 boards last year for the Spurs coming off the bench. He's going to be a big piece for their second unit this year. A guy that's very efficient. As you can see here, 6'8", 51% from the field, 39% from three. Has kind of turned into more of a perimeter player. He was a down low guy in college. And then they bring in Drew Eubanks, 6.6 points, 5.4 rebounds. Another guy that is a very solid signing. Just a good backup big. Jock Londell goes over to Houston, so they have to bring in Drew Eubanks, who is very solid, and he's going to play very well as the backup center. And then a couple of guys that are underrated here, Jordan Goodwin, and then the rookie from Dayton, that I cannot pronounce his name, 6.6 points and 3.3 rebounds in 17 minutes last year for Goodwin. Maybe part of the reason they felt comfortable moving on from campaign, because Jordan Goodwin can give them minutes at the backup point guard spot. And then Kamara here, I don't know how to say his name, but he was very solid last year at Dayton. Kind of put on in the summer league, the lone rookie for the Suns squad, so maybe he starts out in the G League, but I could see him getting some minutes at some point this year. Another guy, very good length, very good athleticism. Now let's take a look at the playoff rise here of Devin Booker. He just turned into a different monster in the playoffs this year, even going up, blocking shots. I mean, he was crazy. 34 points a game, 7.2 assists, and 1.7 steals in the playoffs. That's crazy. I mean, he was up like 8 points per game, up like 3 assists. He was balling. And by the way, he was doing it on 60% from the field, 50% from three. Absolutely absurd efficiency. So maybe we see a changing of the guard here in Phoenix. Maybe D-Book is now the number one option, and maybe KD is the number two. We will see. But now let's take a look at the lineups here. These are my projected lineups. So, like we said, D-Book and Bradley Beal, they're going to have to share the point guard responsibilities. But between the two of them, they average about 8 assists per game. And then we saw in the playoffs, D-Book can facilitate the rock. So getting D-Book to be the starting point guard, I guess. Like we said, Jordan Goodwin can come in and help. And then you got Yuta Watanabe at the backup, or at the starting three, and then KD, DeAndre Ayton. So really, probably the best starting lineup in the NBA, the most star-studded for sure. I don't know if they beat out the Nuggets, honestly. I'd give them the second best starting lineup in the league, behind, of course, Denver. And this is just very solid overall. You got Watanabe. Watanabe might not be the starter. It might be somebody else. Somebody off the bench. Maybe it's an Eric Gordon type. Database deal. I don't know. But as we mentioned here, as we take a look at the bench, Campaign, he is now gone. He is in San Antonio. So now that will either be Jordan Goodwin or, somebody they pick up off the street. I'm not sure. But no more Campaign. I feel like it would have been nice to have Campaign here in Phoenix, but I think they were trying to cut some salary cap there. But you look around at the rest of this bench unit, Eric Gordon, Keita Bates-Diop, Bol Bol, Drew Eubanks, very, very solid. You even got Metu you can bring in if you need to. You got the rookie as well. And then, like we said, Jordan Goodwin could be playing some backup point guard. Very solid overall lineup for the Suns. They are probably a lot deeper than they were last year. Eric Gordon probably going to be 6th man. Keita Bates-Diop probably 7th. And then we'll see after that. Again, like I said, though, one of those guys could be starting, and it could be Eric Gordon, or it could be Yuta Watanabe coming off the bench, But overall, I really like this Suns team. I think they're going to be very, very good next year. Obviously, top 2 team in the West. I don't know if they can beat the Nuggets. I'm still a big-time Nuggets supporter, but I'm liking the Suns a lot going into next year. I love their depth. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.